All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to she instantly regrets divorcing her husband of 24 years. This is gonna be the part two. Let's jump in, guys.
I can go home and do whatever the I want, which is cool and true, but I do miss coming home to someone. It'd be a lie to say that I didn't. What are we doing for dinner? What are we doing? Like, you're coming home to a family. And now I'm not. Now I'm coming home to my apartment and just remembering, I guess, that it was nice to come home to a family. Lovey-dovey with each other. I'm over here thinking like something's wrong with me. Stop it! Now I feel like personally attacked by your fucking love in front of me. But it's just a reminder of, I want that. He's not a bad guy at all. At all. He was not the guy for me anymore after 24 years. Could be a great person and not be my husband anymore. Both things can be true.
Welcome back, family. And welcome back to the second part of the story of this modern woman who decided to leave a 24-year-old marriage just to get pumped and dumped by Chad and Tyrone. We saw how much she cried in the first part after instantly regretting leaving her husband. Now we will see how miserable and jealous she gets, especially when she sees other couples happy. Check it out.
I was just out at a comedy club performance. One of my good friends is a stand-up comic and he organizes shows out in Connecticut. They're outstanding, actually, in Fairfield, Connecticut, if you're in the area. But so I'm divorced and I've been on my own for 2 years, and I was gonna stay home tonight, and he was like, no, come out, go out. And it was fun, it was hilarious, they were amazing, the people were so talented. But in front of me there was a man and a woman. The guy has his arm around her chair and she's like leaning into him, and they're very like lovey-dovey with one another. And the comedian would make a joke and they'd laugh, and I'd see her look at him and he'd lean into her, and he was like, wow, that's like really sweet and romantic how in tune they were with each other, and it's like they were in their own little bubble. It was very sweet, very cute. And like towards the end I was like, enough already with the romantic gazing into each other's eyes. Like after a while I was like, stop it. Now I feel like personally attacked by your fucking love in front of me. But now that I think about it, why am I yelling? Calm down. But there were enough jokes. There were like 4 different comics that were up there making jokes about who's divorced, and they raised their hands. And there was one point where he spoke and he was like, oh, her kids are in Little League, and enough jokes that was obviously they don't have the same kids. That's probably why they were so fucking romantic and happy and gazing into each other's eyes. I never had that with my husband. Like, we weren't like lovey.
You did, but you didn't want to appreciate it because you thought you were better than your husband. You thought you were better than your husband. See, a lot of these females don't understand what they really have until they lose it. I hope your ex-husband, I hope he finds something better, because the best vengeance he can have in this situation is for him to succeed. She really think she's better than her husband. Let it. You're a single woman, a 54-year-old single woman. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're just gonna be a practice session for a lot of guys. I'm gonna keep it 100% with you guys. There's nothing about her. She wants to get again into a long-term relationship. It's like guy can see this. You already had a marriage for 24 years, and now you want to jump to another one. Like, no.
W with each other. I'm over here thinking like something's wrong with me, and the reality is like they're probably newer into their relationship. So maybe I will have that at some point with someone. I'm rambling. I am very happy for that couple, and I hope this is their great love, because it seemed like both of them were divorced, and I hope that this is now their part 2. But it's just a reminder of I want that.
Okay, she just want the lovey-dovey butterfly spicy stuff, but she don't want the real deal. See, she just want to be a kid, little teenager. She just don't want to be an adult. Like, bro, man, this is one of these videos that I'm not. I have to calm down.
I also had a great time, and I just laughed for 2 hours straight. It's not all bad.
You can clearly see how angry and mad this woman really is. She cannot stand seeing a happy couple. Even though she tried to clean her act at the end by saying that she is happy for seeing an happy couple, we all know that deep down, she wishes that it was her. That is what happens when you decide to destroy your own marriage, thinking that the grass was going to be greener on the other side. The reality is that she misses her family, and she will admit it in this next clip.
It's the first week that I am commuting into the city as an apartment dweller, not as a homeowner, not as a married woman, not as a woman with a kid at home. I lived in the city for a long time, but when I got married a million years ago, we moved out to the suburbs right outside of New York City and bought a house, and I lived in that house for 22 years.
It's not even thinking about the kids, man. Oh, man, these people are so... Ah, man. I want to say the word. I don't want... Make it hard for their son. They bought a house 22 years ago. Instead of thinking about their son. Hey, son, when you graduate for college, do not buy a house. Houses are expensive. Keep the house. For no. Of course, these Generation X and Boomers, man, they just thinking about themselves, huh?
I got divorced and I moved out, and I've been living in an apartment. So I've been working remotely, and now the company that I work for has opened up a New York City office, and I'm going in 2 to 3 days a week. So this is only day 3, but I noticed, I'm like, something feels really different, and I realized, like, this is the only time in my life where I've commuted from the city back into Westchester and not come home to a house, and not come home to a husband. I don't know how I feel yet. So I can go home and do whatever the fuck I want, which is cool and true, but I do miss coming home to someone. It'd be a lie to say that
That means that you check the guy. Check the guy profile, check the guy's social media, and he's already have somebody. Or he's having a lot of fun. And she's... The attractions going up. Because she's checking her ex-husband's social media. Ex-husband, if you're watching my channel, the PJ Masculinity channel, erase all your social media, guy. Eliminate everything. You have to go to... A lot of guys don't understand this. When you go to a divorce or separation, you have to eliminate everything. You have to disappear. You have to be Batman. You have to be the Dark Knight, the trilogy, the last movie. You have to go to that prison. Make sure you work on yourself because your legs are broken. You have to be that guy. And when you come back, you go with that joy, with that presence. Now you're a different person. Nobody can really recognize you. You have to do that work. You cannot just give this kind of energy to people like these. You can't.
I used to park in the garage over here and get in my car and drive to my house. What are we doing for dinner? What are we doing? Like, you know, you're coming home to a family. And now I'm not. Now I'm coming home to my apartment. And just remembering, I guess, that it was nice to come home to a family. You get divorced, right? You don't have that anymore. And I think there's something about commuting back and forth that is like a reminder of that. Like, I don't want to say good or bad. Like, not great, probably. And I've been thinking more about like what kind of content I want to post here. I think I'm going to do like a whole thing about my divorce and my decision to end it and the lead up to that and the telling and the announcing and the family and friends and dismantling a life and finding a new place to live and all that fun stuff. So I may want to talk about that. I don't know if I'm ready to do it yet, but I was thinking that may have been helpful for me to watch as I was going through those things. So I don't know, stay tuned. But for now, I am working through this new experience of getting off a train, walking to my building, and not getting into my car and going to my house.
This is crazy stuff, man.
This woman made a decision to leave her own family with no good reason because she always let her emotion dictate her actions. Now, because she misses all the good times she used to have with her family, she realizes that she might have made a mistake by leaving. I personally just believe that this woman is just too selfish to even think about how she is hurting the people around her by acting however she wants.
That's what I said. She's hurting the son, ex-husband, the family. You know, she have no idea what she's doing. But this is what they do in TikTok. They do stuff like this, man. They get a divorce and they start talking about me, the new guy, and they just destroy the family.
Want when she feels like it. And this next clip will clearly show how she admitted that her ex-husband is a good man, but she didn't even care leaving him for no good reason. Check it out.
It's week 3 of commuting into Manhattan and commuting as a single woman in her 50s after being married for 20-something years. A lot of people are asking, like, but why? But why? But why? Like, why'd you end your marriage? Why'd you leave it? What was your decision? Etc. I had a journal or like a diary that I had been keeping where I was talking about all of my feelings and stuff. But when I moved out, I threw it out because it just made me too sad. But I did find some notes. And the notes are from a conversation I had with somebody around how I was feeling and what I should do and all of my fears about ending my marriage and being alone and moving out and all the things that we worry about when we end a long-term relationship. This was when I was living in my house, right, with my ex-husband. And I want to prep, he's not a bad guy at all. At all.
She just like toxic guys. He's not a bad guy. It's like me saying, she's not a bad woman. She's not a bad woman at all. She was not a bad woman at all. She was perfect. But, babe, we have to end the marriage. You see how stupid I sound? I sound delusional, right? Somehow when they say it, we're supposed to think that it's making sense. What you're telling guys when you guys do this stuff, right, females? For the 0.01% of females that listen to my podcast, when you do stuff like that, you know the guys are going to start treating you like shiitake. Because that's what they know that it's gonna work. That means that chivalry, all that stuff, that thing is gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone. Not only it's gonna be gone, also be prepared for things. If something happened in the street, you're not gonna have people defending you. That thing is gone. You guys really put yourself in a situation where even the good guys are not gonna even protect you. Why do you guys put yourself in that situation? Or you guys like that, or you guys are naive. I think it's just more like an attractions thing. She's saying that she left the husband because he wasn't a nice guy. He was a good guy. Don't get me wrong, he was the perfect guy. But you know what? I was not happy. What about him? What if he was not happy with you? If he just stick it out because he said, you know what, my son is more important. And we had to figure out this thing. But you were, no, I'm meeting billionaires. I'm meeting you with millionaires. You know, hypergamy is kicking in. I'm meeting with a lot of these chatting Tyrones. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. I'm telling you, man.
He was not the guy for me anymore after 24 years. Could be a great person and not be my husband anymore. Both things can be true.
Nah.
Back to the notes. I was explaining to her, I am terrified to leave. Of being alone, being on my own, being lonely, all of those things, right? Starting over. And she said to me, do you know that feeling when you have the house to yourself? Or like you come home and nobody's home and it's just like you have everything to yourself and you're peaceful and then he comes home. And if you know, you know. And I told her, it feels bad because I never know what mood he's going to be in. He was often in a mood.
Now he's a bad guy. He was such a nice guy, but hey, he had a mood. He had a mood you never knew.
And I know we don't know each other that well yet, but I'm very rarely in a mood. I'm a positive, upbeat, generally joyous human being. That's not his disposition.
And that's how you just flick the finger to somebody that you just met a couple months ago. Like lady, you just flick a finger, call somebody an a-hole, and send a picture, and you knew that guy was married, and still want to be the main character of the movie. Like, lady, you're not a good person. I'm sorry, you're not a good person. You tell yourself you're a good person, but you're not.
The crazy part is I think he would understand if I said this to him now. She said to me, imagine coming home at the end of the day changing out of your work clothes into something comfortable, fixing something to eat, sitting down to watch TV. Nobody's going to come through the door and take your mood from there to there. And you're not like bracing yourself for someone else's mood. So if you're in that kind of situation, that's why I say, like, if you know, because I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling.
No.
And if you are feeling those things, I wish you like all the love and luck in the world. And it doesn't mean you have to do anything now. Like, this took me years. Take your time. Try to connect with your inner guidance system. And
Oh my God.
I guess you'll know. But just know that you're not alone.
All we heard about the reasons of destroying her own marriage was based on how she felt at the moment. All we heard was me, 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 me. Modern women will never cease to amaze me. She admitted that her ex-husband is a good man, but still left him for no good reasons.
No, because he was in a different mood. Like, yeah, because you guys are two different people. Like, have you ever thought about that? Maybe because you're different than him. Maybe because, his job was hard. Maybe there's so many reasons. Lady, you crazy. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.